Okay.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound controversial, but if you give me literally 60 seconds, you'll be like, oh yeah, you're probably right. Silent Hill 2 is the worst thing that ever happened to Silent Hill.
Nope. I don't need 60 seconds. I need one. I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
You immediately get it, right?
I get it.
Okay, so for people who don't get it, Silent Hill 1 is about the cult. Silent Hill 3 is about the cult. Silent Hill 4, you might not know it, it's about the cult. Silent Hill 2 is the town is a crucible for your trauma. You can work through your trauma through the haunting of Silent Hill, and it could be anything. So that attracted just the fucking stupidest, worst writers to be like, I'm going to write my traumatic redemption story using scary monsters. And none of them know how to do it. None of them know how to do it. Woolie, Silent Hill 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and in Short Message are all about the Silent Hill 2's crucible of trauma. And they are all terrible. PT isn't. The person in the house in PT isn't related to the family. That's just a ghost.
That's someone else.
It's a fucking ghost that's haunting the fucking building.
Oh, man. Huh.
Shattered Memories is all right, but that's mainly because the twist is pretty good.
I like Shattered Memories. It was my first one, and I did enjoy it.
Out of all of the attempts by not Team Silent, Shattered Memories is like, that was a good attempt.
I mean, again, coming at it, like, it still meant that playing 1 and 2 left a stronger impact than that one did. So I guess, like, that worked in the order I went in. But, yeah, that is a very tempting formula to try to emulate, and yet, with its simplicity, there's so much that can go wrong.
So, I'll take this moment to point out just how bad it's gotten. So everyone can argue about what the stupidest and shittiest Silent Hill is. And you all have a good point. But the worst, the absolute worst that takes the cake is Downpour. Because you are constantly chased by a big, scary pyramid head style monster that is going to punish you because you murdered you murdered the guy who murdered your son. Right? That's the main character's trauma in Silent Hill Downpour, is that your son got killed, and then you went to prison and you killed the guy who killed him, and you slashed his shit up. He's dead, and you feel bad about it. And there's an ending that reveals that he didn't actually kill him at all. And then the entire game completely falls apart and makes no sense. Like it literally makes no sense at all. Like not a single event in the game connects to the character in any way, because the thing you've been obsessing over the whole game didn't happen.
See, I was about to ask, how is the like auto-generated like TV non-playable thing that is just a bunch of random like spoopy events happening not the worst thing in the franchise?
I mean, if you want to talk the worst thing in the franchise, we can talk about the fucking comics. But I mean,
sure.
The games. I guess I was talking about the games that you actually play. The game that its story actually makes no sense at all and is internally inconsistent is the worst. A shout out to Homecoming and Downpour for being games in which you could get the joke ending by accident the first time you play the game.
Dog UFO.
In Homecoming, there's one of the 4 ending choices leads to the UFO ending out of nowhere. And in Downpour, you can get the joke ending by accident, and Pyramid Head will come out to cut a cake for you and tell you happy birthday instead of the game's real ending, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
See, I can imagine a story like the one you just told about the short message that spent a couple more hours with someone like Anita analyzing what the fuck were you thinking when you looked at your friend's phone and saw that and had this thought? What the fuck were you actually what was I like what did that mean? Or what was it about this friendship slipping away from, like, confronting these things piece by piece, right?
No.
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 Okay.
Don't
Do it. Okay.
Wooly, Silent Hill 4 came out in 2004. This series has been terrible, like terrible, for 20 straight years. And every single time they put one out, I go, maybe this one. And every time it's terrible. Oh, but I mean,
question.
Did you see that Silent Hill 2 combat trailer though?
Yeah.
This is the one.
So have the exact team, writers especially, that made 2.
I don't know what happened to them.
Did they make the bad ones too? Or
no. There's only one person who has been there the whole time, and that's Akira Yamaoka.
Okay.
Who every time gives his blessing to the new project because, well, I was on Team Silent, you know.
Sure.
So he is also a problem, despite his incredible music. Like, incredible.
Because I'm just wondering, it's like with a lot of other games in this industry, if not the main franchise, is there a legacy of the staff that you can follow elsewhere?
No, Team Silent is gone. They've been gone for decades.
Right.
I don't know what happened to Team Silent. Right. There's Masahiro Ito, who publicly said, I regret making Pyramid Head at all.
I remember that tweet. Yeah, I do remember that one.
And there's Akira Yamaoka,
and the music,
who is like the music guy who is also an enabler. And everybody else I don't remember. Team Silent's really small. It was like 13, 14 people.
And no offense, but like the incredible art and the incredible music are wonderful, but like the strength of the core of what we're discussing here is how Silent Hill 2 was written.
Yeah, no, 1, 2 key members of Team Silent include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people.
Okay. All right.
The director of Silent Hill, he went on to
Gravity
make
Rush.
Yeah? You want to hear the fucking list? Silent Hill in 99. Okay, that's great. Before that, Snatcher. After that,
Konami.
Siren 2, Siren 3, Gravity Rush 2. Mm-hmm. That's a straight line. That is that's.
And this is the director.
That's the director.
Okay.
Background designer, director of 3, and Suguru and the drama director of 2 don't even have wiki articles because they later joined Kojima Productions.
Okay.
Scenario writer went on to. Oh man. He worked on. Oh wow, did he work on these? No, he didn't.
Okay.
You click on the scenario writer's name, and the wiki links you to just Silent Hill.
I see. Okay.
There's Ito, executive producer, lead programmer.
So that team just never existed again. Is simply.
Yeah, no, if it split the fuck apart.
Yeah. Okay.
After 4, and they either left the industry, went on social media to get pissed off, kept doing the music, or got folded into Kojima Productions. Mm-hmm. And we are talking about 10 people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that certainly explains it at the very least.
But yeah, no, Silent Hill 2 is easily the worst thing to do. But hey, listen, we're getting a new Silent Hill 2. I don't know if you saw.
I certainly did.
I don't know if you fucking saw.
I certainly did. I did. Do you want to get into that now? When
do you want to get into it?
I mean, right on the back of talking about the short message does make sense, but there is the Well, there's my week and there's state of play. So
Okay. Well, let's just roll into Silent Hill 2
sure.
as a
Yes. So this is the trailer during state of play for the Silent Hill 2 remake. This is the Bloober team one. Yeah. So
what's that trailer called?
it is called the what is it called?
It's called the Silent Hill 2 combat trailer.
Okay. The I guess at bare minimum, the hopes. Well, I can't even. I'm not even going to put words in your mouth on it. But I'm
No, fine. You go for it.
Well,
If you say something wrong, I'll just be like, nah, I don't feel that way.
Well, just like Silent Hill fan, I assume what Silent Hill fans must feel, especially at this point in time, is similar to
feels like being in Silent Hill. Haha.
It must feel similar to like what we're hoping for looking at the Snake Eater remake, where it's just like, oh Jesus Christ, this can go wrong in so many million ways. Will they just do is this going to be a somewhat prettier version of the exact same thing, or are they going to attempt to change things and add things to it and inevitably fuck it up, right?
So there's a whole like philosophical discussion to be made about how to remake something, right? And that applies to film, it applies to books, it applies to music, it applies to games, right? Am I gonna cover a Smooth Criminal, but it'll be rock, haha, like Alien Ant Farm, right? And it's mostly the same. It's just a different beat. Or am I going to cover Hurt and transform it into entirely a completely different fucking song?
Shoutouts Cash. Yep.
Right. So we run the gamut all the way from like Persona 3 Reload is really accurate. Like it's like what if Persona 3 came out in the year 2024?
Yeah.
Instead of 2006. Right?
I like both of those covers. I like the Shadow of the Colossus remake, and I think that was a good time. I also like FF7R and
yeah. So you have like this wide range of it, right?
There's different ways to approach.
Silent Hill 2 presents an extremely bizarre problem for remaking, and that is it is a game that was made weird. Silent Hill 2 was made in a highly idiosyncratic manner in which games don't get made like that anymore, right? Who's voicing James in the Silent Hill 2 remake? Troy Baker. Why is Troy Baker voicing James in the Silent Hill 2 remake? He's a talented actor. He is hot right now. He's worked with Konami. He dubbed over James in the last remaster. The choice is obvious, right? Why was Guy Seehee cast as James? Guy Seehee was casted as James because he was a guy someone went out onto the street and went, do you want to be in a video game? And he went, I'm not an actor. And they went, that's cool. No, don't worry about it.
Wasn't it that he was standing there because Frances, his daughter, was applying for a role, and he just happened to be in the office when they were looking around to get someone for James.
And they went, okay, you're James now. And usually that means I've cast you for the role of this character. No, they took Guy Seehee and went, we're going to put this man in there with no planning. And he's not a professional actor. So he sounds weird as shit, which ended up sounding great. You can't tell someone to act weird as shit in the way that Guy Seehee, not knowing what he's doing, can do. It legitimately is an unemulatable performance because he's not trying to do that.
I mean, right? Yeah. The first thing we said watching it was, or that I said, is just that, like, I don't think anyone can recreate the letter reading. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say it can't be done because it probably could. But it feels like that is a fucking roll a 20 or fail on whether you're going to pull that off.
I decided to emulate on my stream what it was going to be, what the new letter reading was going to be like. And so I went to YouTube and loaded up the Persona 4 Foggy Day theme and read the letter with like, James, you promised me to take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm waiting there now. It's like you're walking into a fucking room and go, okay, listen, you have to, we're remaking Sophie's Choice and you are going to have to beat Meryl Streep. Go. And it's like, and then the actress they have there just starts going,
yeah. I mean, even the original, like the original, I mean, the original performance, it's like, I don't know if she would want to do it again. Like, I don't know.
Wooly, we're talking about games so old, the question starts to become, I don't know if that lady's still alive.
Of course.
Let alone do it again. So yeah, Silent Hill 2 was made in a really idiosyncratic way. And the combat trailer shows, look, guys, we've improved the combat so it plays well. And it's like, when people said the combat in Silent Hill 2 was bad, they didn't mean, I wish it played like Resident Evil. This is not a flaw to be fixed. Flaws aren't necessarily problems.
Okay.
It wasn't the focus. And so when I'm watching this combat trailer and somebody pointed out, and you see a fucking nurse in the hospital do a fucking cover vault to run at James, like she puts her hand on the thing and like leaps over like a fucking, like a soldier to run at him with her fucking pipe. And I'm like, you don't get it.
I mean, look, you're talking to someone who backstep piped the giant fucking moth thing, outfoot Pyramid Head, and beat the final boss of 3 with the samurai sword.
Absolutely.
So I absolutely labbed the combat in that and played it fully knowing that this was not the intended way to play the game.
Sure. But the intent of Silent Hill's combat was not to provide you with an exhilarating thrill.
Right.
In fact, that's the last thing it should be providing you for. Because part of the game's theme is that you shouldn't get an exhilarating thrill about killing things. Because there's a character in the game whose entire storyline is that he's having fun shooting things with a gun.
So then the question becomes, do you makes it so that the turning radius is slow in the way that you described in the short message, or do you make it feel like a modern game that is automatically infinitely smoother than Silent Hill 2 was, but you put other penalty, you know what I mean? Like, how do you approach that particular
I've seen this discussion and it's very interesting.
Yeah, idiosyncratic is the correct word, right? Like it was a very particular set of circumstances that led to how that game came out, and the intent of what was awkward about it lends itself beautifully into the atmosphere.
Right. So then the argument becomes, like, Pat, are you saying that Silent Hill 2's gameplay should be bad on purpose? No, because Silent Hill 2's gameplay was not bad on purpose. It was idiosyncratic and it was weird, and they did the best they could with what they had, but they weren't aiming for bombastic shooter action. If you want to modernize it, if you want to make it new and fresh and be fun, I'm using air quotes to play because fun doesn't always mean fun. Sometimes it can mean stressful. Sometimes it can mean, what have you. You don't want to go for exhilaration, right? You want to go for anxiety, which is the original point of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So what do? You make the game, I don't know, a survival horror game. You make combat hard and strict and punishing and something to be avoided. Have abilities to defend yourself, but you shouldn't be going through portions of the game lighting people up like Leon going, yeah, nurses! Mm-hmm. Signalis somebody mentioned Signalis. What a great example. You shoot tons of people in Signalis. Mm-hmm. Never exciting. It's always stressful.
Right. Okay. So the
Had that not die right there, done.
the modern standard of just walking around in a 3D environment has come leaps and bounds from the days of SH2, but yeah, make it so that the stress is always felt.
Make James really inaccurate with a gun.
And
like show him like visibly shaking.
Reload time comes to mind immediately from any time you decided to like dump a mag dump into something, you know? Yeah. Okay.
So I put out a tweet about this where it's like, I'm a hyperbolic man. I like to exaggerate. I think it's a fun thing to do. But somebody posted a screenshot of James walking through a hallway in the Woodside Apartments, and written in unadorned white graffiti, like somebody typed it out on a word processor on the wall, was the phrase "reap what you sow."
Reap what you sow. I saw that.
And I said, like, this may seem like hyperbolic. This may seem like too much. But this is the exact moment that I knew that this remake was fucked. Because it's so... Like, I used a visual metaphor, and apologies for the folks listening to the audio version of the podcast. But I said part of the genius of Silent Hill 2 is that it was pointing at you, but you didn't know it was pointing at you. Like, a lot of the game is pointing at James, be the dress on the flashlight. Like, the dress on the flashlight is genius because it's literally shining a light directly in James's face. Mm-hmm. And when he moves the flashlight off of it, he goes, oh, that's a familiar dress. Mm-hmm. But you don't know how familiar the dress is. Mm-hmm. So it's like literally shining it directly in your face, but you don't get it. Shit like that is a man pointing at the camera and looking you in the eyes going, hey, you, motherfucker. So, people compared it to an out-of-the-way piece of graffiti, it's like north of the hospital, mm-hmm. that you can miss,
yeah.
which is written, first of all, in blood.
I remember, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Second of all, it's written in nonsense capitalization. Like, words are capitalized at random, and it's strange. And it goes, if you want to see Mary, maybe you should just die, James. But maybe you'll be going to a different place than her. A different
place than she is. Yeah.
And here's the thing. Yeah. I know what that means. You know what that means. Most of this audience knows what that means.
You do, certainly.
But the first time you see it, that could mean anything. It could mean you're in hell right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the idea of like when, or the idea of like the way you go through the game for the first time, how much you suspect of what's going on is your fault versus like the outside world just fucking shitting on you,
being bananas,
is a slow release until you jump in the hole, and then it starts to really let go.
So I'm like scrounging my brain for what is the absolute most hack shit that the remake could possibly include, and I think I know what it is. I think that if you go to Neely's bar earlier in the game, there will be a hole there.
And it will be gone.
And later, you can read a note that says, there was a hole here, but it's gone now.
That is the stupidest shit.
That would be the most, okay, like, wow, right. You just didn't even get that at all.
Right. Okay.
Like at all.
Yep.
And they'll say back to you, you know, you're right, I didn't get it because there never was a hole there. And I'm like, the point was that it doesn't make any sense and it's threatening. It's a fucking strange thing to read on a wall in a place where the rules don't apply.
I mean, it could be that, or it could be as simple as pre-order weapons. You know, get Pyramid Head's sword early. You know what I mean? Like, it could just be that simple. Outfit changes. costume changes.
Yeah, no, this game's like tone is like violently opposed to standard forms of DLC.
I
Right,
did.
literally any of the normal things would be like disgusting.
I did misunderstand what the short message was when I was looking at it. I thought it was going to be a free like full length Silent Hill game that would have microtransactions or something to make up for it.
No,
So,
it is to its credit,
Just a short
completely
and free
free
thing.
out now and
But
available.
yeah, but I would say like anything that goes under the DLC tab for Silent Hill 2 remake is your death knell if you really, if you really want to.
I know what would be the most likely hack shit. So what they're gonna do is they're likely using motion capture on the people in this game, right? They're doing performance capture. That's my assumption. And they will have a lady that plays Maria and Mary, right? Because it's the same voice, right? That makes sense. And their models are going to look the same, but with different hair and clothes, right? You following me so far?
Mm-hmm.
And what the problem with that is that the difference between Mary and Maria is not their hair and clothes. The difference between Mary and Maria is their hair, their clothes, their body shape. Every single bone in their head and the size of their head is different. The only thing that's similar is their face only and their voice. So if we see Maria and Mary and they're just the same character wearing different clothes, it's like this is like the most important detail of the most important character in the game is that they actually look nothing alike.
They don't.
Other than their face. And just the face.
I didn't know that. I thought they were the same model. It's almost just swapped out. Yeah.
Just like face off, like peel face. Just the face. Huh. That's why Maria looks so off compared to Mary. They're not even the same size.
What you're describing is something I didn't get or catch or feel at all. That's not. Yeah.
Well, they never stand next to each other. So
yeah. Okay. Huh. Interesting. And that's to say nothing of again Bloober Team and the medium.
Yeah. And the baby ghost running into the wall.
How was Layers of Fear?
Possibly plagiarized.
Oh yeah? This might have been a story we covered and I forgot from years ago. What was the deal with that?
Find it.
Because that was the game they made beforehand.
There was a lawsuit about this. About some of the art they used they didn't have permission for because it's about an art game.
I see. Okay.
And they just took the art, I believe it was. But I don't have all the details, though I do have a video here called How the Layers of Fear dev copy pasted their way to notoriety.
I see.
Okay.
And then some patches were done.
But they're bad also. They're not good.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're bad.
Okay.